I do. Okay, let's get an audio check here, everybody. See how we're doing. Hello, 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 hello. Hey now, hey now, hey now. Need some audio? Somebody in the chat, let me know. How is the audio? Hey now, hey now, hey now. Hello, hello. All right, audio's good, Alex? Excellent, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, then we will get this party on the road. All right, I gotta adjust everything so I can actually get to my chair. Nutty, lights everywhere. Okay. So let's see how we're doing. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I have no means of watching the chat from here. You know what? I can grab my phone. That'd be all right. This is very ad hoc, as you may or may not have guessed. Oh, my phone's actually busy. Ha! Okay, then. Well, we're going to have to do it without the chat, I guess. I'm not going to be able to see the chat anyway. This is just not set up well. So we're just going to go from the hip. Okay, so here we go. I actually got my Steam Deck today. It came a day early. I'm very excited. I opened the box up long enough to get the power cord out so that we could actually plug it in once everything is taken apart. But I haven't touched the main unit itself. I haven't taken it out of the container. So I'm really, really excited to be able to do this with you. So I've got 2 cameras set up. Hopefully everything will be good. All right, well, let's just get to it. I don't want to spend too much time with the fun here, right? All right, so I think I oriented my camera that way. Perfect. Okay. So when you open up the box, of course, you get this very cool little deal. Shows you a handful of different items, like the Steam menu, the 3-dot menu item, the button, where your SD card goes in. Nothing too super exciting here. Essentially, plug it in and power it on. So that's what we needed our attention for. So, all right. Good enough. So inside the box is the unit itself and the power supply. Again, as I mentioned, I already pulled this box out. I took the power supply out. It looks like it doesn't look anything remarkable. It looks like a standard USB-C power supply. And then you've got the booklet itself in probably a bajillion different languages. We're going to shoot from the hip. There's all the safety warnings that they have to send out with this thing. So we'll put that back in the box. Okay. Now, the unit. The unit itself. Okay, we're going to get this box out of the way. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Get out of here. All right, so here's the unit itself. Comes with the carrying case. Sticky plastic. Get rid of that. Okay, here we go. I'm all excitable here. So the unit itself has a little handle. I'm going to kind of just chew through this a little bit. It looks like it's got some sort of a seal here. Well, you can see that. A valve seal. I might have to actually go get a pair of scissors to cut this because I don't think you can open it any other way. So let's go ahead and take this guy off. I'm going to try not to trash everything as I take it apart. Let's take this little slip cover off. Make this complicated. There we go. All right, cool. And here it is. It's pretty cool. This is something interesting though. Check this out. There's like this whole big, look over my camera here. There's a whole big area here to store something. And it's got sort of a grippy, spongy type thing to snap into it. So it'll be really interesting to see what people end up shoving in there. Maybe I'll go online and see what other people are doing for it. So I guess if we're going to get this open, see if I can pop this thing. The seal is actually something you have to cut. I don't want to cut it. There's got to be some sort of a release in here somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe that's the whole point, is you're supposed to cut it. All right, well, it's going to be too late in a second anyway, so we're just going to do it. Okay, so we're going to cut the seal. The seal is gone. Thank you, baby. There's activities around the house right now, so if you hear anything crazy, it's just the way it is. It's going to happen. Dogs are going to bark. You know, every single video I have, dogs bark. It's just the way that it is. So I got the seal off. I'm going to keep this to the side. I will definitely keep that. Here we go. I just feel like there should be some sort of music or something playing, right? There we go. Wow. Wow, what a piece of hardware. Whew. Okay. So let's just, is there anything we need to look at over here? Let's just set this to the side. We'll get to that in just a minute. Keep it on camera, I suppose, right? So what we have in here, our case. It's a very high quality case. I wasn't expecting much, to be honest with you, from a case point of view, but it's perfectly molded. It's soft. It's got some sort of a, this looks like maybe to protect the screen over top so that when you close down on it, the screen's not directly touching the top. I buy that. Outside of that, I think we're done looking at that. Enough of that nonsense. The unit. Here she is. This is it. In all of her glory. Take a nice little peek around here real quick. We'll just look at it from every possible angle. Very, very cool. I wish I could be answering questions right now, but unfortunately I can't, because everything is busy. Everything I've got that would actually let me answer your questions are busy. So we'll do exactly whatever we can here. So let me go ahead and plug this in. Let's get started with that. Plug on the top. There we go. See if I can keep the glare from the top light off. All right. So now we're plugged in. We got a charging light on top, if you can see that. Power button. Looks like the fan exhaust, headphone jack. I'm assuming volume up and down. Triggers. Bumpers. These feel really good. I mean, I'm excited about how good those feel, actually. On the front, as you probably already know, we have your start and select buttons, A, B, X, Y, D-pad, analog sticks. God, they feel really good. Oh, wow. I can feel them. There's the haptics behind the pads. That's creepy. Remember when we first experienced the HD rumble from the for the Switch, and you were kind of going, "Whoa, I've never felt anything like that before." That's what this feels like. These things are just a tiny amount of feedback, no matter how light you press on them. There's a little amount of feedback on them. That's really cool. That's really cool. Then you have, of course, the menu button, Steam button. These must be the speaker, forward-facing speakers. Okay, so we'll let this sit. It's still coming up here. Okay, so let's take a look. What's our visual look like on here? Okay, there's no glare. Let me see if I can, let me see what I can do to make this a little bit better for you guys. Okay, let me see. Again, this was completely ad hoc. I had no idea I was going to be doing any of this, so hopefully it's okay. I'm going to quickly check the chat and make sure there's no technical issues going on. Okay, nobody said anything, so we're gonna take it as gospel that we're okay. Okay, so let's take a look. So D-pad, the D-pad feels good too. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting for, you know, an expensive piece of hardware, but I've been shamed by D-pads before, so. And of course this works, and of course the touchpad works also. Okay, so we're going to choose English. Our time zone is, do they actually have Arizona time still? Yep, there it is. Boop. And of course we need to get connected, so I'll do the one that's right over the, I'm going to take this away. No password for you. I'm going to use the touch screen though. Enter that password. There we go. I'm really sorry about the glare. I'm hoping when there's less black, you'll be able to have a little bit better view. So we'll go ahead and get connected to our Wi-Fi. It looks like we have a decent power charge, which is good. What? Whatever. So I got to enter it again. Okay, I should have visually verified it. I must have fat fingered or something in my excitement. There you go. I promised you dogs barking on the video. You get dogs barking on the video. There we go. Now our connection is successful. We'll go ahead and continue. And continue. Okay, so I'm assuming we're installing some sort of an update. Here we go. All right, so while the update's installing, let's take a look here at what else we can see on the bottom. What is that? The SD card slot, right? And nothing else on the bottom that I can see. On the back of the unit, we have, of course, the 4 programmable buttons and another exhaust. Go ahead and flip this guy back over. Oops, I must have hit a button, of course. Okay, good, it's still installing. All right, so it looks like we have 3 minutes and 43 seconds here. So in the meantime, let's, I guess I can't really feel the buttons and everything because I might interrupt something. Let's take a look a little closer at the screen. It's the best I can do with my phone acting as as a remote camera, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to look at it kind of head on here. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I see why people sort of like recommended the anti-glare cover. You can add one for cheap, of course, but the top end model of the Steam Deck has a built-in sort of anti-glare, and so that obviously you can see there's plenty of glare. So I'll probably order an anti-glare screen protector to sort of get rid of some of that. There's some good recommendations out there already. So it looks like we still have many minutes. I'm going to go and check the chat. If I had been smart, I would have charged my tablet and I could have had hit over here to talk. Let's see. Just hopped in, so you may have already said which model. Okay, I did not actually say which model. I got the middle tier model, the 256 gigabyte model. Obviously based on the glare that you're seeing there. That's probably a true story. That the anti-glare might have been worth it. But the fact that it's so super easy to be able to just put a new drive in. It's just like ridiculously easy to put a new drive in. A couple of screws, you disconnect the battery and you pop it in. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to upgrade that or not. Gosh, I really wish I had another device that I could pop on here. Well, hang on a second. Maybe I can work this out. We have a few minutes here while it's updating. I'd like to be able to interact with the chat a little bit. I do have a Galaxy S8 here that perhaps I can use. I don't remember who signed into this, me or my son, but I could sign in real quick so I can hop on YouTube and answer your questions. So let's see if there's anything else we can talk about. Obviously, I haven't been able to hear anything yet. Interesting. The haptics are currently turned off while it's installing. Yeah, those were really funky. That's something that I haven't seen lots of videos about. Most of the videos I've looked at for the Steam Deck don't mention. I mean, you know that there's haptics there, but nobody's really talked about it, you know? All right, let me see if I can... System update. We'll turn it off and do it later. Okay, so let me see who's signed into this thing. Where are we at? 2 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys sitting around for nothing. I can see by the search history it's my son who's signed in.
Okay, I want to come through and not be seen on the camera.
Nope, there's no camera pointing that way, honey. You're good. Food? Okay, so let me see what we got going on here. Where are we at? 1 minute. Okay, cool. Let me add another account to this phone so I can chat along. I'm sure people will have more questions once we're not just sitting here looking at this thing update, you know? Let me see if I can back this up just a little bit. There we go. A little better look at the unit. What are we not on Wi-Fi here? Sorry for the dead silence here. I'm just trying to get everything set up. Like I said, this was very, this was not planned. Just somebody in my peer group said, hey, why don't you live stream it? It's like, okay. This thing's having like trouble just getting connected to the Wi-Fi. This is ridiculous. Oh, here we go. It's trying now. Internet may not be available. Let me try a different access point. All right, so it says 1 minute and 2 seconds, 37 seconds. Okay, well, it's Microsoft. Maybe Microsoft had a hand in this after all. Okay, 25 seconds, 24 seconds. I don't know what this thing's problem is. It's just having a complete fit. My phone, my second phone, not this. And I think we're like 10 seconds away anyway, so maybe I'll hop over and take a look at the questions real quick. It's not very big for a Steam Deck. That's funny. Let's see. How does the weight of the unit feel? So let me grab some comparison stuff. That's good. A good idea. Except for someone's going to holler at me about how much dust is on my Switch. Let me see if I got another Switch around here. There we go. Okay. I got a Switch. I got the Anbernic. Let me put some light back over here. There we go. Okay, so let's bring this up here a little. All right, so I'm going to let that sit and finish booting. And so what I have here is my Anbernic, and I have my Nintendo Switch, and let's sort of get a feel here. Well, listen, there's absolutely no question. All right, so obviously the Anbernic's the lightest. It's actually not dramatically lighter than the Switch, but it is. Yeah, listen, it's heavier. I mean, what do we expect? Of course it's heavier. But in terms of how heavy is it, it's lighter than it looks, which is really weird. I honestly thought it would be heavier, to be honest. So here was my gold mock-up, made generously by my friend Javier. He printed this out and sent it to me. So for a while I had some sort of an indication as to what this deck might actually be like. And this is actually lighter than the Anbernic. So I thought that was kind of funny to bring that out. But yeah, now what they say a lot of is it has to do with the weight distribution. And I believe that too. With the Nintendo Switch, the fact that your hands are so far apart, unfortunately I have no grips on this one, but your hands are further apart. The closer your hands are together, like in this sort of a triangle, I think that it gets heavier, and the further out, the weight distributes a little bit better. And so I think that's why the Switch doesn't feel as heavy. And I think that's why the deck itself, like I said, it feels center heavy. You know, it feels like the center of it is where all the weight is, and outside, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be honest. Okay, so we're back to installing. Okay, so we now need to sign in, which means I'm going to have to pull my phone down. I just realized. All right, hang on a second. Let me get this entered here. I'm going to need my Steam Authenticator. It's easier to see. So one of the things just off the top of my head here, while I'm looking at this screen for the first time and interacting with it in an entry, you know, putting something in fashion, right, is I can see it. I can see it where it's at. So my distance of viewing, one of the reasons I'm not such a huge Switch fan is because the screen's smaller. And I need that. Okay, so I am going to have to pull my phone down. I apologize. I will return the view as soon as I can. Whoop. I don't know. Is it still transmitting? Nope, it just froze. This is good stuff. Okay, so let me get that Steam code in. It buzzes when you type. It's kind of creepy feeling. Haptics that way and all. Okay, let me see if I got that worked out. Okay, let me get this feedback for you guys. Are we back? There we go. Sweet. Okay. Except for it's pointed the wrong way. Dill hole. All right, am I upside down? Nope. Am I good? Nope. I don't want to power off. Okay, now we're back. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. Oops. This is so pain in the butt. All right, here we go. Okay. Yeah. Now we can be friends again. All right, so here we go. Welcome to Steam Deck. Let me get this centered a little bit for you. Nice. Okay. Before we begin, let's take a quick tour of the device. Press any button or tap the screen. This is the Steam button that allows you to access your library, store settings, and more. Press and hold to view Steam button shortcuts. Quick access button. Quickly view your notifications, friends list, quick settings, and more. Power buttons up there. Volume buttons, of course. Micro SD slot. Have fun if you'd like to see this tour again, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now finally we're at some meat. Okay, so let's take a look here. I'm trying not to pick it up so I can keep a nice straight on shot. So the UI is pretty slick. Is the audio of the deck's probably not coming through very well. Let me see here. Okay, I turned it all the way up. So that should be coming through the road okay. What's new, friends, recommended. Okay, search for games. Okay, this looks pretty straightforward. Cool, so if we tap the Steam button, that's interesting. The Steam button doesn't really have a lot of depth to it. It's interesting. Okay, library. You should be able to tap, no? No, okay, that's fine. Oops, oh, come on. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so library was what I wanted. There we go, great. So Great on Deck is 134 of my titles. All of the titles I have, number 1,012 total titles. None are installed. I have 4 collections completed, unplayed, VR, and VR ready. Those were carried over from my Steam account. And non-Steam. Non-Steam apps have been added to the Steam from the desktop mode. Will show up. We're working on a quicker way. Blah, blah, blah. While you're here, we can add and install a shortcut to the Chrome browser. Would you like to do that now? No, I'm going to see if I can get the Brave browser on here, though. All right, so Great on Deck. Let's see what we got. Uh-oh. Hang on, I'm being actually summoned by one of the viewers. I wonder if I can just take this call. Hang on. You're not on speaker yet, but you will be.
Shane,
Yeah.
turn the camera around. It's upside down, dude.
Well, which one is?
Your filming camera, the one you just do a little feet.
Okay. Good job. I wish I had planned ahead a bit better on this one. Okay, is everybody content now? Hang on. All right, let me go check my video. Okay, it looks like it's straight up and down now. Whew. Good job, Chris. Thank you for the assist. All right, so what you may not have seen before, because it was upside down, is all of the different categories which you access through actually the bumpers, right? So once again, Great on Deck, all games, installed, collections, which carried over from there. Look at this. There's some different filterings and things going on down here. That's kind of cool. And non-Steam. Okay, well, let's go to Great on Deck, and let's see if we got something that would make sense to play on here or to install that might not take like 20 hours to install. Look at that, Infinite Warfare. Oh, there's so much of that's going to be played soon. Well, there's Core Keeper. That's not super big. I just kind of want to go through the list here, and let's start at the top here, because I kind of want to go through this list a little bit and see what I would really be liking to play here on this. Like Alien Isolation, I would take another run at. Let's see. Advanced Warfare, you know, I enjoyed the bot horde mode in that. Of course, Infinite Warfare. Gunslinger would be great on here. Call of Juarez. Let's see. Core Keeper, of course. Yeah, Dark Souls, right. Let's see. Oh, Dead Island might be fun to take another look at. Doom, probably. Dying Light. That would probably be fun. Fallout Shelter. That would actually be probably fun on here, too. Ooh, Geometry Wars. Yes, that would be awesome. Dual sticks, the whole bit. Firewatch. I would take that for another run. God of War, of course. Horizon Zero Dawn makes sense. Let's see. God, I got a lot of crap. I noticed all the Lego games work. Long Dark, I would definitely take that one out for another spin. I haven't actually played the new DLC yet, so that could be fun. Maybe Shadow War. I definitely got to take the Mortal Kombat's out for a peek. Murdered Soul Suspect, I've been looking to play that one again. That'd be fun on here. Pac-Man stuff. So much to do. These are the ones that are just great on deck. These aren't necessarily the ones that would just be, that would work. Hey, there you go. Chris, Slay the Spire. Do you want me to put this? Here, I'm going to start to install this. It can't be very big. Chris, I owe Chris a solid here for calling me up and letting me know that it was upside down. So let's see, is that, oh, it is installing. Okay, so I'm assuming while it's installing, I can go poke around a little bit. See, I would totally play Sonic Racing Transformed on here. Abso-frickin-lutely. I gotta say, the screen looks really good. Again, I was worried about small font. Oh, of course, Valheim, duh. Witcher 3 is a no-brainer. Zombie, yeah. Yeah, looks like there's actually absolutely plenty of crap to look at here. So we could probably spend all freaking day doing this. So I'm assuming up here, this is probably our downloads. Perfect. This looks pretty good. So it looks like we have a ton of stuff that is getting ready to come down. Proton 7. Proton is the compatibility layer that runs Windows games under Linux. So that's cool. Steamworks redistributables. Right, very nice. This is really slick. I like the whole operating system. So if I can click on the battery, nice. This is cool. What does it say about my Wi-Fi? Anything? Internet? And what's this guy got going on? Software updates. So I do need to do a software update at some point, but I'm not going to bore you guys with that. And of course, searching for games. Let's go see how our downloads are doing. I'm going to run over and check the comments while we're waiting for that. I guess it gets me off my fat butt to come over here and take a look. Let's see. Upside down. Ha ha ha. It's an artistic choice. Yeah, that was good that you called him. That was awesome. Master influencer, you're killing me. All right. So, got Slay the Spire going on. Okay. Let's see where we're going here. Squeeze myself into this little rat hole. Okay. It's completed. Sweet. All right. You know, it's really great because this works just like Steam works, you know, and that's one of those things where you ask yourself, you know, what makes this better than some other handheld, or what makes this worth the money where there's other Android driven items, there's other ones that you could do streaming type solutions. But in reality, this deck, just being an extension of Steam, is just totally badass. I love the fact that everything, I'm sort of used to it. I don't need to break out a manual. I don't need to go to help or anything. It's right here. Everything sort of works the way that I would expect it to work. All right, so we can go to installed now, and there's Slay the Spire. Let's take a peek. Oh, play with mods. That's interesting. I don't know about any mods, but okay. So this game will use, and that's kind of cool, it shows you the control layout for this particular game. So it's going to use the analog sticks, 4 buttons, and or the D-pad, synchronizing to the cloud, launching executable. Here we go. Okay. It's thinking. So one of the things that people have complained about is the fan. That a unit like this, of course, has a lot of heating, a lot of cooling's necessary. I'm not hearing that whining of the fan that people are talking about. I can definitely hear the fan, but I don't hear any sort of whining. And now that there's audio playing, I don't hear squat. And I have no idea how to play this either, so that's going to be even more fun. All right, so now we have sort of our first opportunity to see sort of an unoptimized view, right? So here are our Let me see here. What am I looking for? Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. Something. Oh, that's weird. Shouldn't I be able to? D-pad. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get my hands under this. There we go. I would definitely say not great because I can't see my inputs. I don't know what's going on with this thing. You know what? I didn't do a software update, and you know what? That might not be fair, right? It might not be fair that I haven't done anything without the software updates. All right, let's do this. Let's get back out of here. Let's go to settings. All right, so let's go ahead and do the software update. I'm afraid. Oh, at least it's already downloaded it. There we go. So it shuts everything down. That's pretty cool. And we'll let it do its updates because who knows what they fixed before this thing went out. Well, that's fun. It it turns sideways. And now it's got it's almost like an Android phone when it would when you would do like a firmware update back in the old days, or when you would use I don't remember what that tool's called all of a sudden, but yeah, twerp, TWRP. When you use twerp to get into your phone, it would always do some sort of weird like view. Do not remove from AC power. Flash firmware tool. So it's actually doing like a firmware update, not just a software update. So it's updating according to this. I don't know how well you can see it. Current BIOS. So BIOS mode update. So yeah, it's doing a full-blown BIOS image update, which is why it's taking so long. So while that's doing that, I'm going to step over to the PC and see what we got going on. How is the on-screen keyboard? There's a button to call it up when you need it. Why is that thing still moving? Oh, that's the only problem with this this setup that I got here. Everything is sort of bouncy. Let's see. On-screen keyboards are a button to call it up when you need it. I don't know. I think there is. I think you long press the Steam button, so we'll check that out in a minute. Okay. So we'll let this sit here and do its thing. So this is all good information to have, right? You get a Steam Deck, don't expect to be turning it on and playing it right away. I'm going to try to sneak some lunch in here. I think we might be here for a little while. So don't listen. I'm going to chomp like a sow. Okay. Okay. Again, we're in ad hoc mode here. All right. BIOS reboot in progress. Okay, I just saw the screen click on. Yeah, I hear the fan. I hear it. Yeah, it's for sure there. Not too bad from the heat department. Okay, it's warm. I mean, but it's not like, you know, oh my God. So it sounds like it's rebooting again. There we go. Okay. Hey now. I'm glad I hooked up the power. Okay, extracting package. So now we must be doing the software update part of it. Get more light on this thing. Okay, well that's doing its thing. Update complete, launching Steam. Okay, and we're back. All right, well that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and relaunch that Slay the Spire. And we'll see. This game will use a community layout. Interesting. Okay. So that may be one of the reasons why it wasn't playing nicely, because it did not properly have a keyboard or control layout attached to it. Okay, let's try this once again. Okay. So. Starting to feel a little less excitable about this because we're still in the same situation. What about a touch? Ah, there we go. Okay, whatever. All right. Let's put this back down then so we don't get a glare. Standard. Choose your character, I guess. The only one that's unlocked. Ironclad. Sounds really good. It's got good spatial audio. It's kind of hard to hear because I'm kind of sitting back away from it. I mean, it's not hard to hear, but I mean, it's hard to get the feeling. It's very, you can feel a sense of depth with the audio. Okay, select a starting room. Okay. Meet the enemy by playing cards from your hand. Cards require energy, blah, blah, blah. Defensive card to gain a block. During your turn, you can observe an enemy's intent. Okay. All right, so this is really good because this is a game that has sort of a small UI. And so strike, defend, end turn. I can read it. Dark Uni, the Ironclad, 99 this, 1 up there, 10 of whatever that is. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. Is it a little strained? Maybe. All right, so let's go ahead and try a strike here. Do I just double tap it or what? Do I have to drag it on him? Wish Chris were doing this. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Can I strike him again? No. Oh, I guess I can. Then defend? Not enough energy. Okay, end turn. I've got it. Calm down. The audio sounds really good. The screen's beautiful. Okay, blah, blah, blah. 8 damage, apply 2 vulnerable. That sounds like fun. Okay, so again, the text here, I can see the enemy intends to block and attack for 7 damage. I can read it. It's small, but I can read it. Do I have to offend to myself? Okay, there we go. Okay, so I guess I end. Oh, this looks pretty good. So let me see if let's see, no more cards to draw. Your discard pile is shuffled into the draw pile. Got it. I'd be curious from Chris's point of view, like he plays this on Switch. I'd be curious to see how this works out. I wonder if there is some form of... No. So it's all touchscreen, which is kind of what I would expect actually from this. Oops. Okay. I suppose I can't do that. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so while we're here, let's start peeking around. Let me turn down the volume a little bit so I don't feel like I'm yelling over it. So let's hit this guy. Okay, so this guy brings up our quick settings. We have brightness, audio, mic audio, game rumble, Steam Hypotics, notifications. Cool, so I can see what my friends are up to. Quick settings, battery, so performance overlay, advanced view. So we have some frame limitations here, manual GPU clock control. Looks like we have some scaling filters, and it's showing us sort of some diagnostics from a battery point of view, what's going on. Cool. So based on this, while it's charging, it looks like 18 minutes of projected charging time. We're at 92%. I'm going to unplug it from said battery. So let's see if things change based on this. So right now you can see it's changing to calculating. I've got unclaimed rewards from Steam Deck. Nice. So I'm going to go up. So now, oops, dang it. All right, so now it claims that with this current setup, with what I'm playing right now, I'm looking at about 5. It's going down a little bit. Maybe we let that level out, huh? So we're still looking at about 5 hours here if we were just playing this game. It keeps going down. I'll be curious to see where it sort of levels out. But we could ratchet this frame, I would assume, right? This is the first time I've done any of this, so I'm just going sort of just by feel alone. So if we go down to 30, all right, now you'll notice it's increasing our calculated battery time. Absolutely. So this to me seems to be Steam Deck test chat. Nice. Okay, Alex, great. You just found a way that you can get me questions from the chat and you can ask them in here so I can see them as they pop up. That's freaking awesome. Okay, so so we have thermal power limits processor power for total less power. So right now, I would say like with what we're looking at about 5 hours and 19 minutes of battery life for Slay the Spire, that doesn't seem out of line to me. I mean, that seems okay. With that frame rate limiter especially, right? So if we turn on the thermal limiter, looks like we can set a certain number of watts. Check text settings in the hang on a second, let me bring this up. In the Slay the Spire options. Okay. Hang on. Options. Okay, so there we go. Is this what I'm assuming this is what you're talking about? It's all readable. So under preferences, I feel like I'm taking an eye exam. Display summed up damage in gold, display block damage in blue, disable confirmation when choosing one card. I can read it. I don't have to strain. I mean, I'm sitting a good distance away, so like my hand is, so I'm trying to get my hand as close as I can to the camera so you can see how far away I am. So I'm probably 12 to 14 inches away, and where I would normally hold it would probably be about that. Oh. Aren't you clever? All right, restart the game for the changes to take effect. Okay, save and quit. Got good wingman on the show here. All right, so let's, I guess I have to completely probably quit, right? Okay. So now you can see it's uploading to my Steam cloud, so it's saving all my stuff, right? That's cool. Ask you for your feedback. Yes, you can do that. I want to help promote. Ah, crap. Okay. All right, let's go back in. So the community, notice before it was telling me what controls to use. The community layout says you're not using anything, you're using the touchscreen. Okay. Mega crit. Okay, here we go. Ooh, we got a little flickering going on there. Did you guys see that? I don't know if that came over or not. Okay, is it bigger? Are things bigger? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that's bigger. For sure. Okay. So let's bring over the performance. Let's go ahead and, okay, so we've got the performance limiter and all that sort of stuff. So let's do the performance overlay. Can I just tip that to, so I thought that should have, the performance overlay should have came on. Interesting. I expected there to be that big thing that came up over there, but maybe in mid-game you can't necessarily do that. Okay, everything seems to have leveled out. Everything seems to be okay now. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, that looks cool. Oh, now you can drag your pointer around. I see. I don't know if you could have done that before or not, or if it was just tapping where you were going. Okay, cool. All right, so Steam button, right? There we go. Interesting, it shows over here, it looks like maybe a controller layout for something like that. If we go to home. So I can still hear it running in the background. So I wonder how you officially would dump out of a game that's currently playing. So if you jump in there, oh, here we go. There we go. Confirm. Okay. Let's see. Does this match your experience playing the game? I'm just going to ignore it because I don't know. Okay, so let's go back to our library. All right. So I'm assuming, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. Let's take a look. Let's get Core Keeper installed on here. Tip, you can play this game remotely without installing. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to install. That's the whole point. If I wanted to stream it, I'd use my phone. Okay, and so let's just kind of peek around here. Oops. That's weird. Wonder why. Oh, because it keeps updating stuff, so it wants me to see what it's doing, I guess. Leave it alone. All right, so it's, I wonder what it's up to. It's almost like it's downloading in parts. Let's go to our download screen and see what's going on. So it said there was some sort of a cloud error, so maybe it was trying to pull my cloud. Unable to sync. Well, that could be a problem. Can I force this to happen? Maybe if I just try to run it again back. There we go. Standard stuff. Gamepad with joystick trackpad. Oh, look at this. It's actually, did you see that when it came up? It was actually installing a Microsoft runtime. That's nutty. Okay, so let's see here. I did not forget about the keyboard question. There we go. Oh, it brought my crap. Okay, let me go to my demo world. I don't want to play with my actual world while I'm doing this nonsense. Okay. So let's see. That's pretty small. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick it up here. I'm going to try to avoid... Oh, you're going to have to see my ugly mug, I guess, with the reflection. Okay, so this is my first experience with the analogs. They feel really good. There's definitely a lot more throw than I'm used to, right? So in this case, if I'm pushing a little bit, he sort of walks versus runs. All right, so I'm not totally used to that. It feels different. I mean, but that's like with any controller you're going to have to get used to. Just run around and smack everything. I'm also used to quick triggers as well, right? So that's something else I'm going to have to get used to because the trigger is a full throw, right? And there are no trigger locks. That's something that with the Elite controller I've gotten really spoiled with. It will take me some time to adjust to that. Of course, this is a dark game in general. If there's nothing around that's got light, let's move over here, something maybe with a little more light. Plays well, though. I mean, it looks great. Again, it's a little small, but I mean, I know this game really, really well, so it wouldn't be, it's not too bad for me to see this small. But yeah, I mean, this would be fun as hell. I'd totally play this game on here. All right, so let's take a look. So now that we've got something up here, let's bring up the, that's really weird that I'm not seeing that performance overlay. Because I thought, oh, wait a minute. Oh, because you have to set the level of the performance overlay, dillhole. All right, so here we go. So off, even though you've turned it on, this is good to know. Turned on, yeah. How long are you guys going to want to sit here and wait for me to install Witcher 3? You know what I'm saying? Maybe we do that later. So not only do you have to turn on the performance overlay, you then have to set a level. So if we change it to level 1, looks like we have a basic frame rate indicator up here. 2, we got GPU, battery, CPU. Looks like we got some frame rate, FSR, which is I think your upscale rendering, frame time. Now we have game. There's a whole bunch of this stuff I have no clue. VRAM, I know, RAM, battery, right? So we have an estimated remaining time. Looks like 3 hours and 5 minutes playing this game. Yeah, that's about right with this projected battery life. It's constantly moving. Then if you want it all the CPUs, the GPUs, the VRAM, you got it. Everything is in here, which you might want to see. So I'm assuming I could just leave it with that and then shut this back off if I didn't want to see it. So what? That is really weird. True performance overlay in Steam. So maybe if you're not in the game, it shows it. So this is the overlay level for the game. And if I were back in Steam and I wanted to see the performance, here, let me do this. Exit game. All right, so now I'm guessing that that's what this means. I'm in Steam. There's no performance overlay. I don't know. I don't know what that is. That it seems a little counterintuitive to me. Okay. Well, that's all right. I mean, I'm still learning this. I mean, you're looking at this for the first time along with me. So let's see. You have unclaimed rewards. Let's see what we got here. Well, this is kind of cool. Oh, I get keyboards. Go to keyboard settings. Night shift theme. So, ew, gross. Man, that looks really familiar. I guess Steam Green, default theme. All right, so let me see. I was trying to figure out with that keyboard. So if I long press this... Ah, oh, wait, what was that? What was that? Ah, here we go. So force game shutdown. There you go. Look at that. So Steam plus B long press forces a game. Show keyboard. Steam plus X. There you go. Yep. What else we got in here? L1. Toggle magnifier. No way. Okay, hang on. Steam plus L1. That's R1 dill hole. So maybe that only works. Wait a minute. Which one's L1? It's the top one. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So maybe that's inside of a game, right? All right, let's go back into Core Keeper and see if that... I want to see that. I want to see that zoom. That sounds cool. It's interesting. There's sort of like you would think that, I mean, there's almost a delay. You saw it with Slay the Spire too. I guess it could be the same thing from the PC, but I wonder if that has to do with the compatibility layer and stuff. All right, so we're in a game now. So is it Steam L? Oh, there you go. Oh, cool. Okay, so hang on. Let me get something on the screen here. Interesting. So if you just got to see something tiny, there's a way to do it. What other keys are there? Anything else interesting in here? Take a screenshot, right mouse click, left mouse click, joystick mouse. Okay, that's cool. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff in there. So someone was complaining that it was hard to find these buttons in the dark, and I could see why. They're perfectly flush. I mean, you kind of feel that where they're at, but if you were playing in the dark, then maybe you'd have some trouble finding them, but it seems okay to me. Oh, if you long press this button, it gives you the same thing. So if I were to take a screenshot, cool. That's pretty neat. Uh-oh. I just see we just lost the phone. It's overheating with the 4K. All right, hang on. Let's let the phone cool for a second. All right. Whew, phone is hot. Boy, oh boy. Too hot. All right, so I guess we're going to have a freeze screen there. All right. All right, so let me do something real quick while we're sitting here. I wonder what it would take to actually install. What it would actually take to install Witcher on here. So I know that's what people really want to see, something that's heavy duty like that. All right, we're gonna install it while the phone cools down. Okay. Boy, that thing is super hot. I don't think I've ever felt my phone that hot before. All right. So we're going to let this install for a minute. I'm going to run over and check the chat, see if there's anything I could answer or we can talk about whilst we're waiting for that to cool off. Let's see. There is a mouse pointer. What brand and type of microphone are you using? The sound. This is the Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone system. So yeah, I can definitely hook up Ethernet. I've got an Ethernet adapter for it. I've got all sorts of good stuff for it. I'll be doing that later. Yeah. So essentially, what you do with this mic setup is you plug the receiver into a USB port, and then it becomes a microphone on your Windows, and then the microphone that I'm wearing is a wireless transmitter over there. So not only is it a nice microphone, it's also completely wireless, which is even more cool. So, yeah. So actually, one other thing we could do is I've got my SD card here we can format. Yeah, I don't have an Ethernet. I don't have an Ethernet cable that's going to make it that far. So let's. Well, I got an SD card here though, so we can definitely throw that in and format it. Sorry that it's frozen on that screen. We'll give the phone another minute or two to calm itself down. It's pretty warm in here, all things considered, anyway. Sorry, I'm going to try to eat my lunch a little bit. Again, this was certainly not a planned event. Okay. So it is downloading Witcher right now. Yeah, it's 1 gig of 42 gigs. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to take the unit over to my desk, where I do happen to have. Okay, let me grab my. I'm sorry you guys can't see any of this. I'm going to grab my extender. It's actually like a dock. It's a mini dock. And I'm going to see if I can. Where's my closest Wi-Fi? Or my closest. There we go. All right, so I've plugged it into Ethernet now. Let's see if it'll change itself. It's flickering like crazy. Again, I apologize. You guys don't get to see any of this. Believe me, even if I had my camera over here and showed you on my desk, it's disgusting right now. My desk is a mess. Okay, it definitely kicked over to Ethernet, and now it is definitely moving along a lot faster. We're now at 2 gigs of 42, and it is just, it's moving along. And I can still hear that game playing on in the background. Let me click that out of the way. Close that off. So somebody said you couldn't play while it was downloading. Or maybe you couldn't download while the screen was off. Maybe that's what it was. It seems to be playing and downloading just fine. This is really interesting. Hang on a second. Let me clear this off a little bit because I can drag my phone over here. Let me make this at least somewhat palatable. It's got crap everywhere is the problem. Okay, now I can hear the fan because I've got something for the sound to bounce off of. Okay, hang on a second here. The phone should be cooled down a little bit. All right, so I'm over at my desk now. And I went ahead and plugged in an anchor to the USB-C, and I plugged in Ethernet. So as you can see now, go see, but check this out. This is really cool. Look at the little download icon. It's telling you what it's downloading, which I think is actually kind of cool that it's telling you that. It's downloading, you see here. That's cool. And then it's also doing a shader caching update as well, which I find interesting. So yeah, it's moving along. It's moving along. Like you can hear the fan? Let me get a little closer. That's the fan you're hearing. And again, you're also hearing it like, you can also tell my voice change too because it's bouncing off of my monitor. Right, so, I mean, the fan's blowing right here, so it's bouncing off of this stuff so you can hear it pretty well, but you couldn't really hear it at the table. So that's cool. I'm going to let this thing go ahead and continue. I'm going to go ahead and nuke the camera, see if we can let this thing get cooled off a little bit more. And we'll just let this sit here and run. So I guess we can yap here a little bit on the chat while this thing is doing its thing. And I can eat maybe a little bit. I'm starving. Let's see here. Yeah, so you don't have to have the docking unit, obviously. You just have to have some sort of an adapter. And I actually have, on my Switch, I do have a USB. I can show you on the other camera. I do happen to have an Ethernet to USB. Obviously, you'd need some adapter to get this to USB-C, which, by the way, Samsung includes, right? So Samsung includes one of these with every phone. So I happen to have several of these little adapters. So literally, if I wanted to use Ethernet, that'd be pretty much it. All I need to do is use that guy. So, might keep this out. Okay, we're at 12 gigabytes here. We got anything else interesting you want to talk about whilst we're waiting? I shut my mouth full of food. Sorry about that. I'm starving to death here. You're sort of in a holding pattern here. 15 of 42. We're moving along. Let's get the video back up at least. Make sure I'm not upside down this time. Oops. Too many choices here. Okay. Where's my hand? There we go. Perfect. Get the case out. All right, so while that's doing its thing, we can take a look at this case again, I guess, or look more at that while this is downloading. 18 of 42. It's taking forever. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go offline for a while and I'll sit here and do some more setup. Then we can format this SD card. I like this. I do like the case. Really curious what this thing is for, though. Unless it's just for you to like keep your knuckles. Your knuckles are underneath that when you're carrying it. Maybe a backpack, something to throw over a backpack. I don't know. I really don't know what this is for. Especially with this indentation here. I guess it's to do whatever you want with it, right? I wonder if my fake deck will fit in here. Yeah, my fake deck fits in there. So yeah, that definitely looks like it's there to cover the screen to keep that. I don't know, because this wouldn't hurt the screen, I wouldn't think, but I don't know. That's interesting. It doesn't hook into anything here. I mean, there's no, it's not Velcro. It's not there to keep the thing in. So I don't know what that's for. No, there's like no clip, nothing to stuff that thing into. So I don't know. It's very, very strange. Okay. Well, maybe we'll just put this all on hold and we'll get back to this at another point. It's not even halfway done yet. It says it's still got another 5 minutes. Now let's see here. Was the case included? Yes. Yes, the case came with it. Case and the power adapter came with the unit. So yeah, case was part of it. I didn't think you got a case unless you bought the top tier model, but I guess they all come with it. Maybe that was a change up that they had made at another time. But yeah, you get the case. All right. So this thing says it's got 420 to go. Now it's up to 5, 6. It's so funny. Let's see if I got my little alerts over here. Wish I had a long enough cable to get it to reach over so we could just turn the camera feed back on. I'm pretty impressed, honestly. I mean, I obviously there's tons more that has to be done here to test, but just overall, the unit itself, like I said, it feels very comfortable. I mean, the screen is nice and bold and readable. So, 65% it says. It is to help you take the unit out of the case. Oh, so it's supposed to go underneath, is what you're saying. Well, hang on a second. Let me back over there. I'm just not thinking outside the box, I guess. So you're talking like this, then. I buy that. It's better than what my idea was to have it over the top. But I swore when I took it out of the case, I'll have to go back and look at the video, but I swore when I took it out of the case that it was on top. But maybe, I don't know. It seemed like it was on top, but I'll have to go back and look at the video again. But yeah, that makes complete sense, right? To lift it up, lift it out. You're not actually like grabbing it. Just grab and go. That'd be so funny. You tune into the feed just now. Like if you were to tune into this stream right now and you saw this in the case, you'd be like, what the hell am I watching here? 31 of 42, so 75%. It's moving along. The cubby in the back is for the power supply, probably. Okay, I buy that too. You know, hang on a second. See if there's anything in the box. I'm just looking at some of the included stuff. I'm just curious if it actually says anything or shows pictures of it or anything. Care, cleaning and maintenance, cord safety, electrical safety, regulatory information. Sorry, I guess I could be tight. I could be doing this with you. Warm surfaces. Just nothing exciting in here. Proper handling of waste electronics. Sell them on eBay like everybody else. Okay, well, nothing to see there. So you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll unplug. I'm going to unplug that and I'm going to let it finish on Wi-Fi. Because at least then you guys can, I mean, we can at least sit here and look at the unit. There we go. Got that nasty glare going on. Not upside down again, am I? No? Good. Okay. So yeah, so let's get back to this. Let it finish up on Wi-Fi. It's up to 8 minutes now. So again, this is what I was talking about earlier. So it's showing that it's doing a shader pre-caching update, which I find kind of interesting. Downloading 85%. 36 of 42 gigs downloaded. And it's showing how much the disk usage. I thought this is kind of interesting. Total space, peak speed, all that good stuff. Completed today. So it's just showing the rest of the downloads. See if there's anything else interesting we can look at while we're here. Let's take a look at this menu. So if we go to the store, it directs us directly to Great on Deck, which is cool, interesting. I wonder how they decide which ones. Probably better if I just use this. There we go. Never even heard of that one. It's cool looking though. It's like an ASCII game. And 3. That's cool. Sort of a curated store. Wish listed. Interesting. Okay, what else we got in here? Friends in chat, media. What's that? Oh, so there's the screenshot that I took. Oh, are these the ones that I've taken previously? Oh, cool. I didn't realize it would go out to like the cloud and get these. Nice. That's pretty neat. I won't lie. Ones that went to the public. Friends only. Yeah, I forget you saw that. All right, so. Interesting. Download, settings, and power. Let's go dig through the settings while we're still waiting. All right, so time zones. Check for updates. Beta participation. That's kind of cool. Developer mode. I'll have to get around to that. Oh, here's the format SD card. I wonder if we can do that whilst we're waiting for this to download. What do we got? 5 minutes? Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and let's take a look here. SD card. Okay, it's pretty recessed. I wasn't sure about that one, but it goes pretty deep in there. I'm not sure I can get this back out. No, I'll have to use a tool to get it out. Interesting. Okay, so I don't have any fingernails because I chew them to death, right? All right, so this is still downloading. So let's go back to settings. And where were we with that system? Format SD card. And formatting. Some interesting little OS information there for those of you guys who are interested in that sort of thing. Internet. Enter offline mode. Wi-Fi's, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. All your notifications. Display brightness. Enable night mode tint. And of course you have things like when plugged in dim, that sort of thing. So basic power management, that's cool. Audio volume. What other output devices do we have? External device, speakers. Interesting, okay. UI sounds. Bluetooth. Sweet. Controller. Game rumble. Probably want to put that back on at some point. Keyboard. Haptics. I think we looked at most of these. Enabled trigger click. Trackpad sensitivity. All your friends' stuff. Oh, interesting. You can do your family sharing on here too. It really is like a full-blown Steam client, which is really neat. Nice. Okay. So here we go. Games, updates, and other. I like how they give you a nice visual look here in terms of what's going on with your drive. So I have 164.9 gigabytes free of 226. So that's one of the questions that everybody likes to have, right? So it comes with a 256 gig storage, but how much is really usable? Well, there's your answer. 226.8 is your usable amount of free space after the file system and storage and whatnot. And of course, looks like it'll tell you the size. You know, you can sort by size on disk. And so it hasn't reported Witcher yet, since it's still downloading, I guess. Definitely takes some space there. Then home and library. Cool. Activated product on Steam. Cool. Neat. Well, that's pretty cool. So let's go back to our download, see where we're at. 2 minutes remaining, 40.7 of 42.8. Pause download. What options do we have here? I wonder. That's weird. I just touched it and it went away. We're still going here. I'm going to run back to the chat and see what's going on here, if anything. Nothing. Very quiet chat. No. Oh, there we go. 6 concurrent viewers. Nice. Nice to have an audience. Okay, we're getting close. So there's really anything else to look at until this thing gets done. Let's see what our power looks like here. Okay, so it's predicting 2.5 hours left on battery life. Probably wouldn't kill us to plug it back in while we're doing all this nonsense, huh? Come on. A little faster, please. Now, I'm really curious what I know what shaders are, obviously, because I've played Call of Duty long enough, but I wonder if it's trying to parse them as it comes down or what. Be curious to see what happens when the actual download's done, if that thing continues to sit and spin. What sucks is I haven't played Witcher 3 in so long, I don't even remember the damn controls. So we might start with just some old save and run around. I'm definitely curious to see what that looks like. Okay. It says caching update. Okay, well, let's see. Nice. All right, here we go. The official layout. Ooh, there's an official layout. Look at that. It's running the Windows install scripts that it needs. Too funny. Visual C distribution package, DirectX. It really is just plain Windows games on here, which is kind of interesting. I mean, we know that that's what's going on, but it's just kind of funny to see it doing, you know, Windows stuff. Synchronizing cloud. Awesome. Sweet. All right. Show me potato salad. Or not. Show me potato salad. There we go. All right. Let me turn this volume up here. I can actually read that text, if that tells you anything. Now we're going to go through the little intro here for just a moment. Let's bring up the performance indicators over here. I'm going to go ahead and open that to 60. No limitations.
See you gather before me. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. All right. Let's get a closer look here. I'm going to try to do this as best I can without giving. You know what? Maybe if I shut some lights off here. Let me see if we can lower some. See if I can lower some glare. Let's see how that looks. Got a little bit of light coming from over at my desk, but I think this looks actually pretty good. And this looks good to me. All right, so let's load a game. Yeah. Woo! 2020, huh? Manual save slot. All right, let's grab it from here. We'll just run around a little bit and see how it looks. Just blows me away. I mean, I know we've got Witcher 3 on the Switch, but I mean, it's still just kind of...
Now we must plant them by the path near Longlock's tower. Then prepare to meet the giant. So, do you like it here?
No, got a problem with magic in general. Illusions, portals, all that.
Okay, so it looks great. I mean, it looks great.
Old-fashioned tastes, eh?
I think I'm taking a hit on frame rate, though. All right, let's bring up the overlay. I got it set to 60. Let's see exactly what we are getting out of this. Now, this is, again, right out of the box, so I haven't touched anything. Oops. Back out of there. All right, so we're seeing, it looks like 23, which isn't great, not going to lie. So, I mean, we could do some limitations here if we wanted to. Yeah, it's really chewing on the battery life, too. So we have some scaling filters. So let's run this over to FSR. Let's see if we can get... Is it doing it like in real time? That's kind of cool. All right, so let me back out of here. Now I see what he means by not seeing it in the dark. So we're talking 24, but FSR is off. How did I manage to do that? Set to Mac. Okay, so you can monkey in there a lot. I mean, there's just so much to monkey with here. I just have no idea what I'm doing yet. Let's run this down a little bit. There we go. So FSR must be something that you turn on elsewhere. Doesn't really look good, though. I mean, the 22 FPS is going to piss me off, but... Yeah, we got down to 17. Yeah, obviously there's some optimizations that I need to be doing here. I mean, 17 is like Nintendo Switch type stuff, right? But let me see what we can do here. So... Let me jump into settings. Let's see what we got here. Maybe, it's been so long since I've been in here. Okay, so it's set to a lower resolution. Let's see, presets. Hairworks are on. That's kind of cool, just for Geralt. Presets. I mean, obviously, just like on a PC, there's plenty of things you can dink with here. Shadow qualities, I can knock those down just a tad. Grass density. I mean, there's all sorts of things we can monkey with here to try to improve things. No, I'm not used to them. No, all right, now we're talking 30. Looks like a hard 30. I could live with 30. And it still looks fantastic. I'm really impressed with the audio. Did I mention that? I mean, it's The audio is really, really good. I mean, listen, at this point in time, I could lock it to 30, right? What am I doing here? Turn off the manual control. There we go. Let's lock the frame rate. There we go. Now, well, you guys can see this. I'm going to get this where you guys can see it better. Let me do this. Let me bring this down a little bit. Okay. There we go. That's probably as good as I'm going to be able to get this thing. Oops. Sorry. Get in here and let me change that. Just a second. Hang on a second. It's going to make me mental. Invert Y. Invert Y. Oh, Y was already inverted, it says. All right, hang on. There. Oh, so much better. Thank God. Okay.
Oh, look! The Emperor of Nilfgaard. He's come out to show off his new robe.
What a game. Such a great game. All right, so with a little fooling around, I was easily able to get this to a nice solid 30. Again, I have not played this in so long. Taking a little frame rate hit here. I do not remember the buttons combos for this at all. There we go. It's so long since I played this thing. I got to turn this lock off too. I'm not used to playing that way. It's so long since I played this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Is that everybody? Stuck on a tree. There we go. All right, well, it'll have to do. This will have to do until I get a chance to actually sit and play this thing. Monkey with it, decide how the best to, optimize everything, but this is cool. Getting all sucked into this thing now. I just want to wander around and look at everything, All right. Obviously, we need more time to monkey with this before I could really give you some real solid views on here. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Take this back a little bit. There we go. All right. Well, you know what? I think we might just call the stream for now. Just because I'm not sure what else I can do without having a lot more time here to play. Oh, plug the power cable in. Yeah, sorry, I should have. All right, well, you know what? Listen, we're going to have more of these. I'm just not in a good position. I will definitely see if plugging it in will give me some more power, and I'll get back to you guys. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining in and taking a look. I appreciate it, and we'll be back with more stuff another time. Thanks again.